In the wake of the blister between online platform provider Improbable and engine maker Unity, another party has entered the fray. Epic Games, purveyor of Unreal Engine and the biggest competitor to Unity, said Thursday night that it has partnered with Improbable to establish a $25 million fund to assist developers who are left in limbo by the new engine and service incompatibilities that were introduced today. In essence, that means Epic is offering to help pay for game developers to move away from its competitor Unity, a calculated move that seeks to capitalize on Unity's public relations and data relations blunder. Epic said the fund is to help developers transition to more open engines, services, and ecosystems. This funding will come from a variety of sources including Unreal Dev grants, Improbable developer assistance funds, and Epic Games Store funding. Thursday morning, Improbable stated that Unity-based projects that use its multiplayer online platform SpatialOS work in breach of Unity's freshly updated licensing terms. Unity has clarified to us that this change effectively makes it a breach of terms to operate or create SpatialOS games using Unity, including in development and production games, Improbable said today. Hours after Improbable's statement, Unity responded by saying Improbable's statement was misleading, stating that even though Unity is terminating its relationship with Improbable and SpatialOS, game developers who are currently developing SpatialOS games with Unity would not be affected. Projects that are currently in production or live using SpatialOS are not affected by any actions we have taken with Improbable, Unity said. The 2019 Game Developers Conference will feature an exhibition called Ctrl GDC that use alternative control schemes and interactions. Gamasutra will be talking to the developers of each of the games that have been selected for the showcase. Table 4 uses light and sound to create play, drawing players in with its pulsing colors and sound, designed for accessibility through its use of light and color over standard controllers, and with the aim to break down barriers between strangers. It looks to bring players together through its dazzling light show. Gamasutra spoke with Alon Adda, developer of Table 4, to learn more about designing for accessibility, the job of colored lights as players and as a developer, and the pleasure of bringing people together for play. My name is Alon Adda. I am the inventor and creator of Table 4. Table 4. I have invented and planned the game, built the table, installed the electronics, and programmed all the games. In fact, I planned the table during its construction and built it while still planning. I did not use drawings and diagrams at first, except for things I had scribbled in notebooks, and I did not have a complete design before starting construction. I had conjured up ideas as I progressed. It was an original and interesting journey, which led to Table 4 in its current form. Table 4 is an electronic gaming table that uses touch sensors and colorful LEDs for playing. It does not have a screen, a keyboard, or a mouse. The players use their hands to touch triangular sensory surfaces located around the table. The touch sensors are actually the input unit of the game, and touching them causes a response according to the rules of the particular game played. The response is displayed through LED-generated lights, along with sound. The game contains colored LEDs that change colors according to the game and its rules, as well as speakers used for sound effects. Table 4 can also be used as a musical instrument. In the center of the table, there is a pole wrapped in LEDs, which serves as the UI for the game and indicates the progress of the players and their score in the various games. The various games coded into table FAR are suitable for 1 player and up to 6 players. Although most games are best played by FAR, I'd always liked RGB LEDs, in particular, and the relatively powerful lights they make. Unlike screens, I'd also wanted to make a game that does not make use a joystick, a mouse keyboard, but rather uses hand tapping, thus making the game accessible to almost everyone, even if they have never played on a computer or a console. The idea of Table FAR as original game, Color Catcher, was born with the idea of the table, and I am not sure whether I had created the game for the table, or the table for the game. At any rate, Color Capture is what I had in mind from the very start of the process. Further into development, I created the other games, and I continually develop additional games for the table. The music modes were created before the games themselves, originally in order to test the sensitivity of the touch sensors and the sound quality. I soon realized that using the table to play music was a lot of fun, and so the music modes were incorporated into the game. As for the games, the first game, mentioned above, is designed as a competitive game between participants, based on agility and motion. Later, I designed games that required cooperation between the players, and tactic turn-based games. This I found significantly more challenging to create, and I continue to design more games that will be incorporated into Table FAR. In each game the lights function differently, in accordance with the game rules. One of the most unique innovations in the table, in contrast to almost any other electronic game, is that it requires players to physically play together, against each other. It is designed to bring people together, and it has the ability to draw together individuals who, minutes earlier, were perfect strangers. The idea was born after realizing that people spend so much time playing, when all they see in front of their eyes is a screen. I wanted to enable something different too. Table FAR is not intended to replace the gaming experience of a computer, a mobile device, but rather offers a new, different kind of experience that can be shared with people who are in close proximity, and not somewhere on the internet, in an attempt to make the table accessible to the widest audience, and to all people. And since there are no screens, I had to find a way to represent each player, as well as the game rules, using colors alone. What may appear to be a limitation actually proved to be a very interesting alternative, and indeed makes the game widely accessible. It was important to me that the rules of our games would be very simple and can be easily and quickly learned. There is also a very short verbal guidance at the beginning of some of the games, just to let the players know how to get started. There were actually occasions in which the table was introduced to colorblind players found Table FAR difficult to play. I had not taken this situation into account when developing the game. I am currently developing versions of several games that will be suitable for those who have difficulty distinguishing between colors. This is quite challenging, considering that these games are so color-based, but I believe that I have found the answer to this problem, as in many cases during the construction process, I had little intention of attracting attention, but there were some thoughts that led to this. I believe that there are several factors that make Table FAR an eye-catcher. The first is the geometrical shapes that make up the surface's design. They are symmetrical and resemble a pointed flower. I love flowers very much. Also, the combination of black and white creates a contrast that attracts the eye. It was clear to me from the beginning that I would use black and white, only in the design of the table surface, so that all color is brought to the table by the LEDs. This was also important in order to ensure that the colors of the table surface would not be similar to any color used in the game itself. During the design, I did some simulations in order to find the black and white positions that I believed would look best on the table. The second thing that attracts the eye is, of course, the lights and their colorful movement. Unlike screens, LEDs in this format are just like small flashlights. They spread a nice, colorful light around them, and on the people playing. This is very appealing to the eye, and is highlighted when placing the table in a dimly lit space. It also allows for great photos when shooting the players during the game. The effect gets a bit lost in a very brightly lit place, and that's one of the disadvantages I have to deal with every once in a while. Even though the table still functions great in well-lit places, the combination of light and sound is a combination often found in nature, such as lightning and thunder. This is also prevalent in computer games, where things happen and are expressed both in lights and in sounds. In Table 4, I have made use of sound effects that are not necessarily typical for computer games.